Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to you. My name is Nick, we're on the zxspectrum 48K, and we're looking at BC Bill, published by Imagine Software in 1984. Now, he's called BC, but he's not very PC, as we soon will find out. This game also came out on the BBC Micro and the Commodore 64. It's quite basic in premise, the movement reminds me a little bit of Mrs. Mop, but essentially you play the role of BC Bill, obviously, and you must build up your tribe, so here we are. And you build up your tribe by getting women and feeding them and having kids and feeding them. Now you get your points when the kids grow up to 17 and leave home. So we just clobbered our first woman, drag her back to the cave as you do in caveman times. It's year one, you see women we've got is 1. And by getting food, that will enable them to have babies. And I've just walked into a dinosaur, you don't want to do that. Now dinosaurs will eat your food. You need to keep your food supply up or the women will leave you and the kids will die. And then if you've got no women and no kids, then that's the end of the game because you're not building up your tribe. Have you got it? Right. It's probably best to collect food. And you get your points when the women have children and they leave home. Now, all the time, 2 volcanoes are erupting, but that doesn't bother us. You'll notice the screen is changing colour every now and again. That is the changing seasons. Right, here we go. Do we go? Right, score is 1, which means I'm brilliant. We've got 2 women, it's year 3, and we've got only a little bit of food. So keep clobbering the food. Now, it's a bit difficult sometimes to see what is food and what is not, but avoid that dinosaur who's doing the can-can for reasons unknown. But no one's gone back in time, so we don't know that dinosaurs didn't do the can-can, so you can't disprove it. Right, clobber that. Right, into the cave. Food 18, that's lots of food. Hopefully we'll get a bit better. Oh, something just flew across the top there. And that's essentially it. So there's a lot moving on the screen at the same time. Oops, I've died. Huge colour clash when things bump into each other in good old Spectrum fashion. 1984 Imagine Software. BC Bill. Not very PC. I'm not sure you can get away with a game now where you're clobbering women over the head and dragging them by the hair back to your cave, but different times, and it's all a little bit of fun anyway. God knows how they got the women back then. Might have been something similar. It's got a bit of a beer belly, this caveman, a bit like Chuck Rock, which was to come later on the Commodore Amiga and other systems. But yeah, in terms of caveman games, the only ones I saw reviewed already is the Flintstones on the Spectrum as well. Well, if we're looking at just the Spectrum, and that was pretty hopeless. This is better than that. Do have a look at Mrs. Mop, a game I reviewed quite some time ago. Similar but different, if that makes any sense. But that was on a single screen. You must actually get stuff and put it in different areas. Right, there's some kids leaving home, so I'll get points for them. So they've got to the age of 17, I think. Clobber that woman. So women 1. We got no food, and the year is 7. The idea of this is just to, well, last as long as you possibly can. So a cute game, a basic game. You soon get the hang of it. So essentially, build your tribe, build up your dynasty, and when it gets more and more tricky, more dinosaurs and stuff coming onto the thing. And I think I've died. Yeah, no women, no kids. Was that a song by Bob Marley? I'm not sure it was. Yeah, so once you get going, you've just got to maintain your tribe. So our score is 47, which isn't the best. Now, if you own this one back in the day, let me know. The only other system that come out on, I believe, is the BBC Micro and the Commodore 64. But it's a bit of a largely unknown game, this one. Reminds me, the man looks a little bit like a version of Captain Caveman there. So, let's see what we've learnt. You need to be right on top of things. If you're not quite on top of them, you will lose some energy, but you don't see your energy bar. Right, come on, lass. Right, there we go. She's being dragged back to the cave. So, women 1, year 1, and it's winter. Different things happen in different seasons. You'll soon get used to it. Is it a game I would have come back to as a kid? Well, maybe every now and again, but there's not much to it. Maybe just out of interest or something like that. There's a walking turkey thing, that's dragged in. Keep the food up. Now, of course, the more women you have and the more kids you have, the more food you have to collect. And it does get a bit chaotic on the screen. Things moving sort of like in random. Check out that dinosaur can. Right, enough of him. Right, we've only got one cave. There's no rival caveman in this. It's only one player. The animation is sort of okay. It does flicker as it goes through the frames, but we'll let that off. It's of an era, I would say. It's like retro gaming. Is that me completely done in? We got to year 3. Oh, we've got another life. So it's quite generous with the lives here. To the uninitiated who can't speak properly, this might seem quite a complicated game, but it is simple. Clobber women, clobber everything else which is food, avoid that dinosaur. So apart from the dinosaur, everything else is food. There's the kids leaving home again. See you later, kids. They're off to start their own tribe. Good luck to you. Things were quite tough back then. And the volcanoes have been erupting for the whole game, but not melting the ice at all, and it doesn't come our way, so it's quite safe in that way. I wouldn't have liked to live in caveman times. Not many clothes to choose from. I'm not all for this like clobbering about. This is before women's lib, and I think now, I think they'd go and raise a case for abuse, and quite rightly too. And BC Bill will be in prison forever, and not allowed out at all. But caveman times, the rules were slightly different. They weren't as advanced as today, of course. Probably, actually, the worst caveman game I've played, it's not strictly a caveman game, but there's a level of it, is Renegade 3. Renegade 1 was okay. Renegade 2 was losing it a bit. No, Renegade 2 was okay, actually. 1 and 2 were great. The third one was blooming awful. Yeah. But this moves quite quick. But there's not much to it. So after a few goes, you are going to get bored quite quickly. And it's all about trying to get the most points you possibly can. Good. Right. Quite, yeah, quite stark seasons here. It's either yellow or white, sand or snow. BC Bill hasn't got skis on. The sound does get a bit annoying after a while. Feels like there's dropping water somewhere. I'm not sure it would be very successful if they released it as an app today. Hasn't aged particularly well, but you've got to judge it for the era it come out on. I'll be interested to see what this looks like on the BBC Micro. The main difference between Spectrum, Micro and Commodore 64 and Amstrad CPC, I suppose, is the way they handle colours. The zxspectrum is the most vibrant of all of those, although the other ones have got more colours available, which leads to sometimes more shading, but I just like the Spectrum feel. That's the computer I grew up with as a kid, so that's probably why. Nostalgia has got a big part to play, whether you like games or not, because it's not just about the games, it was where you were in life back then, and it provokes memories too. There we go. But I didn't own this one back in the day. As I say, if I did, I probably would have played Attack Attack more, but this would have been a good diversion every now and again. Right, score 45. Are we doing better? It's hard to tell. I won't be playing this for hours and hours because, you know, it's a struggle to get a decent review out of this. But they're good to see. We're gradually going through the games. I've got a huge list made up mainly of games people recommended. And even now, you know, I've reviewed hundreds of Spectrum games, but on the list to do is, believe it or not, well, I suppose you would believe it, is bigger than the actual ones I've already reviewed so far. So I'm not even halfway. Still a few Amiga ones, good Amiga ones left to do. I haven't been able to get working, but we'll go back to them every now and again. Right. Right, how are we doing now? Food, it's probably best to load your food. Alright, food's gone. We've only got one woman, and we've walked right into the mouth of a can T-Rex. But we're the same height as a T-Rex, so I don't know why we didn't punch it in the face. Bit like Renegade 3. I think we'll have one more go at this. Top of the Rocks, I still haven't made it into the charts. Curses, blast, well maybe I need a lot more goes, and that's something that won't be happening. Not a huge hit back in the day, but it's got a good name. BC Bill, not PC Bill. Well, I suppose he'd be a policeman then, wouldn't he? Right, this will be my last go. Let's really go for it. Maybe collect some food this time. I don't know what that red thing is walking around. But you need to clobber it just right, or you come up comeuppance. I was going to say, right, there we go. Right, food 2. Let's get some food in the larder. That's how we got off to a good start to attract the women and to build our tribe. I don't know why the kids can't go out and get some food as well. Right, food 11. We can probably get going now. Come on, love, into the cave. That's how marriages went back then. Is that too different from Vegas? Well, slightly. Come on. Okay, right, 15 food. Right, we've got one kid already. The women tend to have the kids in the summer, and they tend to die in the winter if we run out of food. But we don't want anyone dying or anyone leaving us. 2 women there. Okay, not strictly allowed by the Bible, but it's BC, so it's before the Bible come out. I don't know how he knew the Bible hasn't been out yet to call himself BC Bill. Maybe that's the name the Imagine software have just given, and his real name is Kevin. Maybe, or something like that, or Barry, or Flash, or something like that. Probably Ugg or something. That's like a caveman name, isn't it? Right, so how are we doing? It's year 5, food's 19, kids 4, women 4. Now, we don't want to get too many women here, because then we have to try and feed them all, which could be a disaster. Right, I'm getting better at clobbering the food, so I'm getting to be a successful caveman here. Right, 5. Come on. Right, that T-Rex is going down the back. Is it a slight slowdown when there's a lot on the screen? Not too much. There's a cake there with wings on it. I don't know. Don't remember seeing that in Jurassic Park. But I trust the research. I'm sure it must be true. Volcanoes were always going off, weren't they, in prehistoric times? It was well known for it. Right, there go the kids. Right, we get points for them. 4 of them. So they're leaving home. We've still got 5 left. Go, kids, go. Following each other off the screen and probably be eaten by that Tyrannosaurus. That's not my fault. I raised them well. The other 2 kids going out there. Kids level not going down, so maybe they come back. Possibly. But points still going up. This is longer than I did before. It teaches you a lot about caveman history, this. It's extremely accurate. If you go back in time, you'll see outside a cave, lots of food running around. And women going backward and forward in their prehistoric boob tubes. And, yeah. Right, okay. A bit like Raquel Welch, isn't it? In 10,000 years BC. I think it was her in that iconic movie poster. You may be aware of it. Clobber. Take that. Food 8. Women 4. So they've got 2 bits of food each. Kids 9. Oh, it's just a running total of kids. So you can have 9,999 kids if you want to. Something I don't recommend in the real world. Probably be a bit of a strain on your wages, unless you're a zillionaire. But that's a lot of kids. So this BC Bill is doing well to populate the whole of the Earth. Oops, I've died there, have I? Ew. I think we'll leave it there in a little while. I don't think there's too much more I can show you of this game. Quite repetitive. You saw it all practically in the last 3 minutes. Got any comments about this one? Then indeed put them below. Actually, let's see how much food we can get. 1. 4 kids there straight away off the bat. That's quick work. Well, there's no foreplay in this. The women seem to have the kids on their own. Just food that creates them in this game. So it's I suppose it's PC and it's family friendly in that way. In you go. No women, 4 kids. How does that work? They've left me and I've been eaten by a dinosaur again. Curses. These miniature dinosaurs do creep up on you, and then it's good night. Clobber, clobber. They say that computer games create violence. I don't think this one would have created much violence. Was there in 1984 a lot of people running onto the streets clobbering people over the head with a big club? Well, Imagine Software might have got sued in the courts for this. It's pretty much as violent as Grand Theft Auto, I suppose. I think we will leave it there actually. So hope you liked having a look at that one. It was BC Bill on the ZX Spectrum 48K, published by Imagine Software in 1984. Got any comments about this game, similar games, or anything retro, then please put that below. You're always more than welcome. Thanks for watching again, it is appreciated. Until next time, take great care of yourself and a very fond goodbye.
Goodbye.